Okay, so how to name ionic compounds. Made with transition metals. Okay. So in the last lesson there, we learned that we have these two possibilities for iron, right? And we learned that iron must have a charge of Fe2+, and we based that on the fact that there's one oxygen with a 2 negative. We know that this iron must have a 3+ charge. We based that on the fact that there's 6 total negative charges, and if there's 3 of these, each one must have a +3 charge. Okay, so 2 possible irons and 2 possible situations. So there's a naming system. There's actually 2 naming systems, but the first naming system we'll talk about is the modern naming system, and it is called the stock naming system, and it only applies when you're dealing with ionic compounds that have transition metals in them. Okay? And how it works is you use Roman numerals in the name to indicate the charge on the cation. Cations are positive. There's the plus right in there. Okay? So if I look, if I have FeO, and then we've already established that that's got a 2+ charge on it, how it gets named is just like this. Iron 2 oxide. Why iron 2? Because there's a +2 charge on it. That's why. Simple as that. Does that make sense? So with that in mind, what's this guy called? Iron 3 oxide. Perfect. Okay. What is this called? Let me think for a second here. The brackets are a must, and the charge has to be written in Roman numerals. So hopefully you know your Roman numerals. Does everyone know your Roman numerals? Well, let's count them, just to make sure. 1. Why is that 4? Or 5 minus 1 equals 4. Yeah. Yeah. 5. 5 plus 1, yeah. There's 1 to 10. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 minus 1 is 9. And 10 is 10. Okay? So there they are. You won't, I don't think, have to deal with more than that. So if I look over here, okay, if I take a look over here, the first thing, if I want to name this, well, I know it's chromium. And I know it's a transition metal, so I know that chromium is probably going to have more than one state. So if I'm dealing with a transition metal, I'm going to have to say what the charge on chromium is. But I got to figure it out first, right? So if I look, how am I going to figure that out? How many oxygens do we have? And each one has a charge of what? 2 minus times 7, 14 minuses. So each chromium then, if we have 2 of them, must have a charge of 7+. So this is chromium 7. 5, 6, 7 oxide. Chromium 7 oxide. Okay? Does that make sense? That is the stock naming system.